represent the Face Forward 2 program. We're part of a federal initiative through the Department of Labor, the U.S. Department of Labor. We've gotten a grant to help out the folks right here in Mantua, in fact, the Promise Zone in general. And we hope to offer some of those solutions that you guys are talking about, especially you, ma'am, and sir that spoke before her. We offer workforce training, case management. We will do the in-home services. We'll knock on your door. Hey, we haven't seen you in a couple of days. You okay? We will go out and make sure the mentoring. I know you folks up here were talking about mentoring. We do GED classes right here in the One Side Center. We do. We will help you stay in high school, help you get your diploma, we'll help you get into college if that's what you want. We specifically work with young people ages 14 to 24 who have been involved in some way with the juvenile justice system, not the adult system, and we help them get jobs and have better options. A lot of you folks up here are giving really great solutions on how we can fight this crime problem, and I think it comes down to better choices. And that's what we try to provide, is better choices, so you don't have to make that choice to go on the corner and sell. You don't have to make that choice for that violent episode that you had in the corner with somebody. It can be more workforce ready. It can be more college ready. Yes, ma'am. Oh, so yes.
Quick question. What's a couple of meetings? And they had a lot of, I guess, internal work there. One of the biggest problems in this community is a lot of our youth has had a lot of miscellaneous crimes that turn into federal crimes. So they're having a hard time getting those miscellaneous federal crimes explained. So if there's anything in that area, we can help the young people around here, because they cannot move forward.
So we do three things to make sure that that problem is eradicated, because we don't believe that should be. First thing we do is diversion. So we work with the judges in the juvenile system, and they'll call us up and they'll say, hey, we've got this young guy fighting at school, first offense, we don't want to charge him. We have an arrest on record. Let's not charge him. Let's send him to you guys. Give him a few months, get him a job, get him back in high school, and we won't take the charge. We'll take the arrest off the record. So there's that piece of things. Number two, that's called diversion. We also have an expungement program where if you do have a charge in the juvenile system, we will work with you. We have lawyers through Drexel, we have lawyers through Community Legal Service that will work with you to get that record expunged so you can then go back onto the workforce with a clean record.
But you don't have too many access for people, young people that got federal crimes. I've been to a lot of these people. They tell you up front, we can't help with federal. We got a lot of young kids don't have a finance. They can't raise a family off McDonald's. They can't raise a family off. They can't even get a city job that's promising like AmeriCorps, NFCC. These are jobs that you get education for, but they get about $5,000 a year. They don't have access to these programs because they have a federal crime.
Federal. When you say federal, you mean felony?
Felony, that's
right. So,
felony.
Okay.
So you know,
Right.
No,
we're in the same field. We can help folks that were in the juvenile system. Unfortunately, this particular grant does not help folks that were in the adult system. I'm just talking about my Face Forward 2 program. I work for CTS. We have 6 programs. All of them, we can work with that person as well. With the felony, we can help them work through that. We can help them get into jobs. What we do is we create partnerships, and we call it a job pipeline. So you come to us, we already know the owner of this construction business who works downstairs. And we're going to hook you up with that person. We're going to get you credentialed in forklifting or flagging or putting up drywall, whatever the industry recognized credential might be. And then we've got a pipeline right into these jobs that we're already working with these folks. You're not out going blind with nobody, standing next to you. So right here in West Philadelphia, I don't know of any that'll help people with felonies. However, in North Philadelphia, we can, and we take folks from all around Philadelphia. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. But what was the third thing? You said what was the third thing? You said you did 3 things.
Oh, so one, we work directly with the companies. Oh, so right, and then the other thing is the pipeline that goes right in. So even though you have this record, if you're going in with an understanding, yes, you might have a criminal background, but we are gonna know this and move on.
Okay.
So that's our third.
Please give information about how people can be in touch with Connection Training Services.
So I have my colleague, Mr. Marlin, in the back. He works directly here in Mantua, right on 35th and
619 North 35th, the MCIC building.
Yes, yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yes, ma'am.
You a best kept secret?
Well, down this way.
stuff?
Sure. Marlon, can you please stand up and give everybody, she's asking for your phone
Phone
number?
number, website, something.
Actually, I have some flyers for you, so you can come back and get them. I'll give you my cell, which is 267-634-7297. And my name is Marlon Bacon. I'm the case manager and also the job development instructor.
For MCIC?
For Phase 4 with 2, but we are in the MCIC building.
Which y'all?
Yes, ma'am. I work in the building. I don't necessarily work with them.
Oh, okay.
But again, the number is 267-634-7297.
I also want to introduce Michael Zapowitz and Telecam. They also work in my office in North Philadelphia. Please feel free to stop us. We have cards, we have flyers. We're more than willing to go into more depth. I don't want to take up any more of your time. We're really just here to look for community support. We know it can be tough to see a new face in the community, a new organization coming in, but we really are here with the best intentions in mind, looking for partnerships to help the community. So thank you very much. It's great to be all here.
Mr. Murphy, is there a you have? Okay. I just put a comment about this is my son Reverend. I've been working on my son for a long time. He has to finish school because of incarceration and different things. And he's now is in the GED program. And he's to graduate in June. Encouragement for him to see this, and then he got a job, and you start seeing the other people making more money than him because he had the skills and the training that they had, and they had their papers, what they needed for that particular job, but they took him under their wing and they been training him. But then he realized, I got to get something for myself, because if I want to make this salary, certain things I got to have. And one of them was he had to have a diploma before he could even get a certification to do what he does now, and that's gutting out buildings, rebuilding houses, and now he came a long way. My son been through a lot. Dorothy used to be one of his mentors and one of the people that used to work with him when he was going through his struggles. So it's possible for it. Like the lady said, you got to encourage him. You got to pray for him. I mean, I did a lot of prayer for my son. I did a lot of talking. I did a lot of pushing. I'm a single mother. I raised up by myself, and I had to depend on prayer and my community. And I lived in a high rise, so my community wasn't a good place for to even look for somebody to mentor you, because there were so many of us in the high rise going through changes. So my faith was my vehicle, and that's what helped me. And that's why today my son now is getting ready to graduate, and he's working and he's taking care of his children and trying to be the man he should be in society. And I'm just thinking Congratulations, thank you for sharing on how when you have stick-to-itiveness, and even for stick-to-itiveness, faith. Anything that happens, faith and the power of prayer. Now I come to you, then I go to you, then we'll get there, and we gotta bring that over to you. All right.
First thing to do is shame the club. People talk about getting involved in their communities, and that's what Town Watch does. Town Watch works with neighbors and helps to address the quality of life in your particular community or your particular block. We also, if the children are in school and we have challenges within the school, we do conflict resolution. So as the inspector has been saying, we do teach conflict resolution, and we do provide the same set of service, and we don't mind going and knocking on the door. Because we meet you where you are. I'm not asking you to be any place but where you are. But I also want to say that you heard some examples of resources that are in this community that if we take advantage of by getting involved in their community, we can begin to make changes that we talked about here today. The other thing is I want to just let you back to mama and say to the young man, congratulations, because that's the example of love that we've been talking about all day long. And that's what love can do. It can not only change your course, it can change your behavior, and it can focus you on the way that you need to go. But this say about the father of the child?
All right. And going back to his church he was raised up in last week.
Yes, she does.
Normally I would not use it, but I'd like to take this opportunity to do first two quick things. Welcome you here to Drexel University Joint Site Center for Neighborhood Partnerships. My name is Brother Samuel Evans, resident of Reverend here in Mantua, assistant director here at University Community Partnerships. The story I'm going to disclose another day.
I already got her outside. I got her outside.
There's a word, so that was my directional pass. I'm an associate pastor over here at Metropolitan Baptist Church. It's very good. Let's put on this other hat. This is to everyone. One of the best things that happens to our community is called the We Are Mantua. That brought us back together as a community. From there, the Pacific Association was birthed, new leadership being raised up, and Mantua is truly on the move. But here's the question to everyone. In Malcolm X eulogy, remember I have all my texts. Ozzie Davis asked the question, have you ever talked to Brother McNeil? I'm challenging all of us, even with our red and white, pink and green, black and white, no color. The key word is called sacrifice. That's the sacrifice. So we are going to have to dig deeper than we think we have to dig. Go on the place, literally, and talk to our young black men in love. Really go talk to them and pull them along. And my sister, that's my blood sister, and he mentioned my grandmother, taking off who we believe we are. We have to make greater sacrifices. Hanging out on the corner, not looking to get shot, not looking to get shot, but they don't get the street walk now, off the streets, and I'm all my people, try to say to them, what do you need? Whether it's the GED, whether it's food for your children, what do you need? We have to bring ourselves, you're not putting yourself down. Because before I took the job at Drexel, I said, I was leaving the night away, I said, God, you kept me on the ground for a long time, wasn't that? And when I got the interview at Drexel, the woman said, she said, I need you on the ground. I said, because he knew I would go out to the people. I'm not better, we're not better, but we are different. Education doesn't make a difference. Things different. So the key word that I want to leave us with this challenge is all of us. What greater sacrifice is it your time, your talent, or your time? That you need to go deeper in to reach the community, our young black men and women. Now this week, the University of Philadelphia, April 22nd, is having their faith-based partnership, a faith conference with the schools, because that's another movement that needs to happen, working in schools. You work in the schools with their faith communities right now at the table that are in schools. The movement also needs to go back into the schools, you reach the schools, you reach the children, you reach the families, you reach the community. So that's another avenue we need to keep our challenge. But that's my challenge, leaving the word. What great sacrifice can we give us? Is it our time? Write the checks. If you got the checks, if you got to write the checks. If it's your time, then give up your time. But we have to give more. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend.
Yeah, one of the things, my name is Prescott, I'm a minister at Transfiguration, and I did grow up with Joe. We did go to high school together. We grew up down south. I met my wife there. He stayed in the Brook. I got thrown out. So, Justin knows, you know where I came from. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you, especially, it had to do with the fact that he said that murder has gone down over the last couple of years, probably in part to a lot of things that you guys are doing. The Bible says that there was in Genesis chapter 11, these people said, let us build a city and let us build a tower and make a name for ourselves. And God said, in response to that, he said, let us go down and confuse their language. Because if we don't, then there's nothing that they won't be able to do. You said that in this neighborhood, the killings are going down. But we have to make a distinction between violence and murder. I mean, it's all violence, but just because there's violence doesn't always lead to murder. There's still violence in this neighborhood, okay? So my question to you and to whoever else is here, what actually can be done? I have some suggestions, but what do you think can actually be done to come into this neighborhood and confuse their language? Because guess what? If they're not killing each other, guess what? They're working together somehow. Because there's still violence in this neighborhood.
There's still violence.
Yeah.
But the murders and shootings have went down tremendously.
Right.
Some of the things that have been done, like the gang, that's been something that's no longer down. You have, I guess, social groups, they want to call themselves. Really not. It's social groups or social media, whatever. You might have 38 Nasty, what's the other group? 3,500 Wallace. They may call themselves whatever they want to call themselves, but we don't have the gang violence. So from the police department perspective, we're having great successes in that way. We're not getting the shootings. We're not getting the murders. We still have drug dealers, and that's a nexus too. But the thing that a lot of communities, I wanted to say is earlier, a lot of people confuse is we think a lot of the shootings, the violence, is all over the drugs. Let me tell you, we've had 15 shootings within a year that I just found out about was called some guy touched some girl's butt that lived 4 blocks away. And because of that, him touching her butt resulted in 15 shootings. We were just able to start to bring that in. And that's resulting from Busty projects, and I call it New Jack City, but the little playground around the pit. She got it, the pit.
The first arena.
Around there, around 51st and Reed. But little stupid stuff like that. That's why I keep talking about conflict resolution. Somebody touches a girl's butt. As a result of that butt touching, 15 different shootings because of that in a year. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's why we need conflict resolution. Because we as the police, a lot of times we think it's over narcotics or this drug group's trying to move in. It's not really over that. A lot of times it's stupid stuff. This guy looked at me wrong, and then I said something to him, he shot me, and now my boy's going to shoot him back. And we get that back and forth violence. But we've kind of been pretty good at stopping it. This one kind of over a girl's butt, and we just found this out like last week. And the 15 shootings date back to 2014. Not 15 people shot, 15 different shooting incidents where they're shooting back and forth. We may have had like 3 or 4 people shot. But we've been really successful in stemming the gun violence and the shootings, the murders. Now the drug dealing is still going on, but it's not as rampant as it was down here. If you remember C.B. Kimmons and all them, that was one of the 16, 20 murders a year. So we've done a lot of successes. Can we do better? Yes, we can. And we want to continue to keep driving.
Thank you for that feedback that you just shared. I would also want to recognize again, we appreciate each and every one of our panelists for being here and for the information that you're bringing to the table of discussion. We just love your presence today and every day and what you do in our community. We recognize that some of our panelists may have to move on to something else, and we respect that. So if you have to do that, do what you have to do. We're going to keep this conversation going a little bit longer because at the end of it, we're going to have the young people talking, right, Pastor? We want the young, and it's not a whole lot of young people. We're all young, right? In spirit, heart. The really younger ones, and there's not a whole lot of them in the room, but there may be more out in the hallway that I don't even know about. Maybe some in a holding room across the hall I don't know about. But we will conclude today with the young people talking from their heart and what's on their minds about this violence thing, and then there will be lunch for those who are able to stay. I found them here. There's two folks right here who want to ask a question over here, and then back to you, sir. First, you, McNeil.
Yes, my name is Angela McNeil. I'm from Transfiguration Baptist Church, the First Lady, and I agree with what everyone says about the solution, family, education. These kids aren't able to make conflict resolution because they don't have a strong sense of self. But ultimately, I believe in God and the church and helping and supporting kids. But one thing that we have to think about is the mental health of people. And we don't, and for African Americans especially, they tend to shy away from that. And we have some therapy. Therapy is another solution to help children, to help adults, to create the self-efficacy that they need. And so we probably need to generate a list of African American therapists and so on to send out to the community to help. One other comment about we have maybe less murders, and I think one of the reasons why we have less murders is because we have better trauma centers, so when they go in, their lives are saved as opposed to.
First Lady, so nice to meet you. Mrs. McNeil, First Lady of Transfiguration Baptist Church, and we're so glad that she is here also. And now I am going to, let me just acknowledge that we do have a mental health professional well seasoned in the room with us. I love her. She's my sister friend. She also happens to be a member of Transfiguration Baptist Church. I'm talking about none other than Dr. Tina Scott. Wave your hand. She is the best of the best at what she does. You've got some mental health issues in your family or someone that you know is just trying to help. You might want to get her a business card before you leave today. Now, I want to go to the beautiful lady in the yellow t-shirt.
Yes, my name is Katrina Brown. I'm a president of the neighborhood and I'm also a member of the Transfiguration Baptist Church. My concern was how can we, like on Brown Point on Mellon Street, there's a homeless shelter. And I noticed that there's about 6:30, and then at 5 o'clock in the morning, they put out to go back to work for the street all day long. Now, I was just, what can we do to make the world know that once you get high on drugs, that you're going to pay for that high dearly. That good high that you think you're getting and keep it going on, that first touch of drug is going to make you, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for that. Dear, our kids can't even get jobs because without reefer in your room. How are you going to keep a job if you go take a unit that's so what can we do? I see on TV, we have a lot of commercials with Geico. I know where I'm starting from. But to let them know that drugs really is the bottom line of a lot of our problems in the black community. So I agree with that.
I just want to say one thing. What you said was a great question. I mean, you look at now, and the young people's mind, marijuana is in the drug. And our legislators have made it that way now. Now the police officers, we don't lock you up if you possess a certain amount of marijuana. Only thing we do is like a ticket. And the reality is, we've made marijuana decriminalize it basically, but that doesn't decriminalize it with the job. It's still, you got to take a urinalysis
you pop for marijuana, you're not getting that job. But then the elected officials are saying it's okay to smoke weed. So it's when you fill out an application now, they ask you, do you use drugs? And now it used to be, do you use drugs? And you check off yes or no. Now it's, do you use drugs, including marijuana? Because most people don't equate marijuana as a drug. But the job board still equates that. And I think that's something we got to take up with the elected officials. I even believe, I think the governor's trying to make the medical marijuana over here. So, unfortunately, our elected officials have decriminalized it, but the corporate world have not.
And unfortunately, not only are you correct, it's still coming. But to your point, I think what we've been saying most of the morning, it starts with education. It starts with us teaching our children the wherewithal when it comes to drugs within themselves. But we have a tendency to kind of like gloss over things. Bottom line is, if you have marijuana in your system, you can't get a job. But if you have alcohol in your system, you just might get a job. Alcohol is a gateway drug that leads to marijuana, leads to other drugs. What we have to understand is that as the world changes in one area, it doesn't necessarily change in the other. But what we have to do is educate our children. It goes back to what we teach our children and what our children learn from their friends. And we have to teach our children the stronger lessons so that they teach to their friends the stronger lessons. Because marijuana is truly as detrimental today as it was before, because going to get a job and having marijuana in your system, you will not get employed. But a shameless plug. One of the other things we can do to disrupt the voices in our community, we will be doing on June 13th. We're doing a bike ride through the whole Southwest Division. Come and join us. And the point is, we want to show our community the relationship that you can have between police and judges and officials as we ride through our neighborhoods so the young people can see. Education comes in all frames and all forms. We use it as a tool to recruit, but also as a tool to inform. So ride with us. As you did the peace walk, then we're going to do a bike ride, and then we'll keep doing things. And the more things we do, the more things we do with the various organizations in this room, the better we build this community and make our community better.
Okay, can I say something too? Just one thing about the guy.
Go ahead.
Also know this, if you smoke cigarettes, certain jobs will not hire you. And I know over there at Chop, you smoke cigarettes,
Good point.
nicotine in your system, they don't hire you.
Okay, now the gentleman right here had his hand up. Then we're coming back to you, sir. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is
Good
Fred
afternoon.
White. I'm from 100 Black Men. Hey, Fred. Hey, baby. As a segue to my comment, I want to say if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Very expensive. So we focus on some things that eradicates ignorance. One of the things that we do is we soak up all of the young person's time. It's hard to get in trouble when you've got to go to Bible study, and fencing, and swimming, and basketball, and after school. So we soak up all their time. As we soak up their time, we expose them to different positive role models. As they focus on different positive role models, you can see that behaviors go from negative to a little bit more positive. In 100 Black Men, in 100 Black Men, we have 4 pillars. One is called, this is important, education, mentoring, health and wellness, and economic empowerment. In the education department, we have money that we give people to go to college and can't find people to give it to. Did you hear that? Can't find people to give it to. So this brother that's sitting here, I need to get with him to find out if he wants to go to college, because we don't feel young people should have to pay to go to college. So what we do is, I just saw one of my teas. Okay. So what we do is, we show you how to find money, listen to this part, to go to college for free. I wish they did that in 1965, but that's the deal. The other thing is, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try something new. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. So we show you how not to be fearful, but to step up and try something new with the help of a role model. The last thing I need to talk about is your ego. Is your ego. Everybody got an ego, you gotta have one. But ego also stands for easing God out. So we have to make sure that we're grounded. We talk about these things over and over and over again. And I can't seem to find young people to take advantage of the free services we have. We have a program in our economic development store called Minority Entrepreneur Apprenticeship Program. One of our members is a multi-millionaire builder. Multi-million, not multi-thousandaire, multi-millionaire, and he's very low profile, where Jesus has never seen him in the top. This brother built $1.5 million house at Gordon Fitzwater, Cater Street, down in South Coast. We started a program to show young people how to do what he does so they don't have to work as hard when their hair looks like mine. Okay? We only have 15 seats. We can't find people to fill these seats. We service young people from ages 8 to 18. When you turn 18 and go to college, we even help you get in college. We have a collegiate program at Cheney University. So we have what you're looking for. We have what we don't judge, and we recognize that everybody in this room wants to be acknowledged and appreciated. Acknowledged and appreciated. So we acknowledge you in public. You feel better about yourself and more willing to step up. Demetrius, stand on your feet. This is one of my mentees. I want you to look at the next mayor of Philadelphia in 20 years. I want you to look at a PhD in 6 years. These two brothers are just a typical example of manners, pride, exposure, and Christianity. I'm just saying. Why is it that I only have two? I should have 222. In my past, I ran a program at the University of Penn called Upward Bound. I ran another one called Veterans Upward Bound. So maybe talking about the Vietnam vet. We'll be here till October. But the bottom line is, when these people came through Upward Bound, they scattered like butterflies around the country. They became professors at Lincoln. They became meteorologists on TV. They became fathers. They became community members. They became role models. These two brothers are role models for the younger people who are 8, 9, and 10 years old. So they will get our mentor. So when you talk about each one, teach one, we talk about putting your feet on the ground. You vote with your feet, not your mouth. Cash the check that you write. This is my president, Keith Warren. I'm going to sit down. I've been on Big Califero. I need to talk to you because we need to spread this word out more. We have 127 chapters in the country. We have chapters in Ghana, London, Dominican Republic, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But I'm going to tell you right now, the best one in the international network. Don't make me say it. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So be aware. So be aware. My name is Fred White. This is Keith Warren. We will give you a phone number. We need your children. We guarantee results. We cash the checks that we write. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to go back here where I see hands. Are you ready for your hands? Okay. All right.
My question is directed to the police inspector, not to put no flag down to ask you, but what can we do to better the hiring process to hire police officers in the city of Philadelphia? Whereas they have an associate degree, that's ridiculous.
Well,
but we need to fix that. And once your commissioner leaves, when the new mayor comes in, we want to come out. I mean, I would say, wait, I think we got to come. But we need to fix that hiring process with the police department. That way we can better recruit better officers. That's one. And then within the sector. Some of the police officers need to control their sector. Here, you'll see Civic District Bike Patrol out here and Drexel Bike Patrol out here. We see more of those guys than we see the Boston Police Department controlling their sector. Then we need to bring that PAL center back once we get rid of the commissioner. Then we need a mini police station in 16th district, like a lot of other police stations. Districts have mini stations. We need one in Mantua, 16th district. And we need a better community relationship where we can fix that, a better community relationship. I'm a former 911 dispatcher. So a lot of times when y'all hear me say that, oh, we don't know what we're talking about. Anywhere in the world, I've been 911 dispatcher for 12 years and don't know what I'm talking about. They don't hire a lot of dispatchers. We didn't take the test. I took the test over and over and over and over and was shot down so many times, it's ridiculous. Because I didn't have an associate degree. You need an associate degree to be a police officer, but you can put some of these, not putting young people down, but you can put some of these young people through this Explorer program and they can become police officers. Whereas us as dispatchers, we can't be a police officer because we don't have an associate degree. How in the world can I go get an associate degree when I'm working shift work, 7 to 3, 3 to 11, different shift work? I ain't got time for no college. But
I think we get the gist of what's on your mind.
yeah, several of my colleagues lived in Mantua. Fred Slaughter, we lost him. And Preston, he was a dispatcher, we lost another dispatcher at 46th Street. But we need to fix the hiring process. We need to bring our police numbers back up, like back in the Rizzo days. Yeah. About 10,000 police officers.
Okay, I think we get your point, sir. Thank you. We do get your point, and so we will give our inspector an opportunity to respond to you. But I would like to say, and if we can respectfully agree to disagree, because as we said it earlier, but I happen to think that the current police official we have is doing a darn good job. Inspector?
And just to answer the hiring questions, initially, the commissioner, he wants to basically raise the level of the police officers that we're getting. That's why he went to the associate. But we've been having a hard time recruiting police officers with associates. So then he added other stipulations. Such as you seem to know some of the stipulations. Now you can be 19, you have to be a police explorer. Now the explorer period comes up in September. We need to get your kids that sign up to be police explorers. So we'll be getting that information out once it comes. I have a good pipeline with Donna Griffin. When I get something, I'll pipe it to her, and then she puts it out. But now you can be a police officer, you can be 19, you said that has been explored. You don't need an associate's degree. He also lowered the age, he upped the age to 21. Now it's back to 19 because you can graduate college at 17, do 2 years, graduate high school at 17, do 2 years of college at 19, and then you go on the job. It used to be you had to have 4 years military. Now you only have to have 6 months military, which means you can go in the reserves and become a police officer. So the commissioner has actually lowered the standards to let people on the job. He raised them, but now he put them back down. It's not when I started. When I started, either GED or high school diploma would be 19. It's no longer just that. But he did lower the standards back to 19. If you meet those certain stipulations, 6 months military, 1 year of explorer, or 2 years of college, which you can have by the time you get 19. So with that, we have done that. You say you see University City District officers out here. They work for the 16th and the 18th. That's part of the police department, the Philadelphia Police Department. We have University City officers, police officers on bike patrol, and then you got University City District. You might be talking about them. Those are non-sworn officers. But we do have bike patrol out here. We have our regular Philadelphia police out here. We also work in partnership with Drexel. The Drexel is out here. They also have our police band. They can get on our police radio and come over to the 16th district and let them know if they need something. So we are out here. We are definitely out here. I don't know why you say you don't see the police out here.
Well, I see more of the bike patrol guys in the sectors. You are doing the sector, but
right.
I see
Well,
more
now,
bike patrol guys in the sectors than the police are.
Well, now we don't have sector. We have police services.
I'm one of the committee men in the 24th ward, and I have a rec center in my district, our ward, and a library, and sometimes we can have a hard time with these police officers coming to sign that quote.
Is that the one at 34th Street?
That's right.
The captain comes every day. I hear the captain over the radio.
Well, the captain's coming every day. You talking about the police
And the
officers?
police officers,
Have to come out here.
I hear it on the radio. I mean, I'm not back and forth with you, but I know what I hear on the radio.
Just look at that book.
Okay, it looks like we have gotten all of those who wanted to ask a question or make a comment. We have one more.
I would announce that we're in McNeil. I'm working with a nonprofit called Philadelphia City Building, actually and they're recruiting middle and high school students from low-income families, including Mantua. So in Mantua, we had to pair with college students from Japan. It's actually found a African American female in Japan, and she wants to give back to the community. She's around for 5 years, and they're having trouble finding a group of kids to be mentees. So they be disciplined, have tutoring, nutrition, 5 days a week. They call like professional learning as well as physical fitness all together in one package. So they give tokens and everything.
Do you have any flyers with you today?
I actually work with them as a volunteer. So it's phillyppr.org. phillyppr.org. And my name is Terry. She's the executive director. So again, they are around 5200 Avenue, around that area. They have a site there, and they go at the whole house, and they do the training station. It's all free for kids. And we also recruiting mentees. So any justice student want to mentor, or high school student want to join.
What's the age range for children that you for?
Middle school and high school. And they have to come and pretty much low income.
So basically, we're talking probably ages 12 to 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah. And
You said it's income based for them to be able to.
they need to go to public.
So they need to go to
Public or private. I think it's a combination of income.
Thank you for sharing that information. You know, that's one of the important things about when you come out to events like this, it's the networking, it's the information. I learned today about these shots you can get at the stop building. I didn't know that. I'm really upset. But anyway, there's another question or comment.
One of the nonprofit projects for is like nonprofit that help in like all the young people where 14th and the 24th mainly focus on like what days what they do like artists singing and also I'm not going to like when it comes I'm on the board. My question, I really agree with you saying about confidence. Like, you really need that in here. Like, people don't know, like, this day is with them. If you walk in somewhere, like, somebody about to car, get snow, and they want to so bad to put out the gun. Instead of that, you say, listen, I want to follow you. My dad should walk away, like not growing up. My mom always tells us that like always walk away instead of like not paying yourself like for a phone call, it's just taking a bigger portion and just walking away from it. Like I've been raised on that and I've been telling a lot of people it's really not nothing out here. So that was very
Thank you for your question.
I raised like with my confidence, like we really need that.
I agree. I think we all agree that we need more confidence. We got to show young people, and maybe not so young people, how to get along and how to talk it through and how to respectfully agree to disagree. And we don't have to start calling each other names. Marvetta Coleman is getting ready to come back up to the mic. She's going to offer some wrap-up statements, and then Pastor is going to come back up and close us out to this part of the program and give us our marching orders for what we'll do for the next half an hour or so. And I think the program, the young people, yes, but I'll let Pastor come and tell us what will happen next. Marvetta, come get the mic.
Truly, I wasn't ready to answer that right now. I wanted to find out what is the name of the organization you were working with, the nonprofit? DB Force. Oh, the letter D, B, and there's one, okay, that's right. They grew out of New York Mantua. They were birthed in New York Mantua. That's DB Force. All right.
Okay, everyone. You know, I know that the value of your time is such, and I really want to thank all of you, particularly those that have come and have come with us for the entirety. Thank you so much. One of the things that Ms. Vera did, she took all the information that she heard that I was making a note of that I was going to comment about. But I'm not going to repeat all of that. But one of the things that I am going to say is that out of the panelists' suggestions, two things that I found to be very consistent. They were not talking about we need a lot more money for this and we need a lot more money for that. That wasn't the conversation. And I thought that was tremendous. Because a lot of times when we start talking about the needs in the community and the reason we can't make change is we start talking about it from a dollar standpoint. And we know the space that we occupy and the world that we're living in when we have a situation where, this is just Marvetta's little aside, there's a proposal to increase property taxes by 9%. Having said that, that indicates us there's not a lot of money to do a lot of other things. But not, I just can't think of anything that was suggested that had to do as much with money. What it had to do with was time. It had to do with time. Are we willing to reprioritize our lives and give the time that we need to give to make a difference? And I think that that is the issue and the question that we've all got to look at the mirror and figure out, what can I do? Because the truth of it is, everything can happen external to us, but if we are not in the trenches, working towards the difference, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean a thing. So that will be following with my thorough question there in terms of the sacrifice. What are you willing to do to bring about the change? So I thank you again. I thank our panelists. I am so just grateful to you. And to those, speak to those that are even not sitting in the seats, but they have left us already. I can tell you, and Linda and Tara will beat me about the ears, but they know how I do, that we are going to be looking at how can we be more effective also at making the difference and making the change. We don't want this to be a partnership that was for a moment. We want something sustainable. So thank you, and thank you, my sister Vera. As always, you have risen to the occasion and exceeded it. Thank you so much. Reverend McNeil.
Let me thank also once again the panelists, especially to the inspector who gave up his time to be here with us for the duration. I have not a confession, but this issue of violence is more personal than people know. 1973, my father was killed. And closed casket and all that. And it happened at a really bad time in Southern stuff, and we were hosting himself. And I grew up without a father. And the impact that it had on me, searching for a father, looking for folk to fill in, ran me into the church, ran me into the neighborhood, the older brother that took me under their wings. But the village stepped up. And that was helpful to me at a time when I really needed the village to step up and to help my mother to raise me and my brothers. And so I know what violence does in the absence that it leaves families and young men who need so much older brothers to take them back in to help them out at a time when they really need some help. And so it was nothing from me. It really didn't take anything from me. We need to find a way where we can be helpful as a community, as organizations, where we can be helpful to this neighborhood. And yesterday was glaring because it's true, when we started marching, before we started marching, I just stood out on the church's grounds and I saw all the young men running up and down the streets with Rodney and Little and Joy Eagle. And doing that thing, smoking and all that kind of stuff. But when we started marching, you didn't see them anymore. Which for me is really a shame because they need to see this and they need to hear us. We're not in opposition to people, to brothers, to sisters who are doing wrong. We're not in opposition with them as people. What we're in opposition to is what they do. And if we could have an impact on them, if they can listen to us and hear us and understand that this is not a knock on them personally, but really it's a knock on them because we really want to build community. And if they're not on board with that, then they need to learn why it's important for all of us to build a community. And so this work was important. And all of these organizations who stood up and gave their information, where's Fred Scott? Fred, stand up. Fred is a minister at Transfiguration. He's also in charge of our website. You see here, mantua4peace.org. If you would give him your organization's information, website, and contact info, we'll post that on our website because this is really just the first of 4 events that are coming after this. You see that on the flyer. And that the work is more important than this one-time event. Like Marvin said, we need to continue this. And in the continuation means that you have passion and you have sacrifice for the work that's ahead. And so I'm thanking all of you all for being here, for doing this work, especially for Marvin and the Deltas and all these other organizations, 100 men, on the Black men, concerned, we had concerned veterans yesterday, and just everyone who just rolled up their sleeves and jumped into the work. And so thank you all for that. Now here's the thing. This work would not really do anything if we can take this back with you and say you should have been there. Because often we have events and people we know who are sitting back, don't have information, don't know their GED program, don't know that they can possibly become police officers, just don't know anything, but they sit back and complain. And then the information was right here, and they didn't do anything this morning, really, but sleep, eat some cereal, and watch some television. And that's the reality of it. And sometimes we just have to be real about it and say, look, you missed this because you were too lazy to get up and come out with it. And so if we have to, let's take it back to those people we know so that they can be aware and then they can look on the website and get the resources for for them to further themselves in life. Now, one other thing, and I want to break so that we can have these young people come up and just have that time with the inspector. We have a lot of problems. No, I don't want to say problems. There are a lot of issues, a lot of concerns. I am not afraid to go up to a brother or sister who's doing wrong and say, there's another way of doing that. I'm not afraid. And I don't think any of us should be afraid to do that. Because if we don't pull that coat and say, look, this is not the way to do it, they'll continue doing it. And just like this educator mother said, we can't condemn them if we ain't willing to help. The only time we should be looking down on them is we're trying to grab them and bring them up. And that's the reality of it all. We all in this work together, whether we like it or not. We are community, and in order for the community to be healthy, we all have to be a part of it. And that's what I believe. I'm passionate about that, and that's my work. But I do want to also thank those who were going to do the workshops, the info sessions, and we thought that this discussion was going so well that it was important for this discussion to go on. But I will like them to stand and share their name and what they do, so that we won't miss, we won't get the full info session, but at least we'll know who they were. So if you would stand and share what you were going to talk about, you grab Gateway, and then that might be helpful. Why don't you come up here to the mic and share what you want to share? And then we're going to transition to the young people with the inspector.
Good afternoon, my name is Donna Griffin. I am with We Are Mantua, and actually I wasn't necessarily going to do anything. I really wanted to facilitate additional conversation about what's happening in the community and share the neighborhood plan that was developed by the community. Dwayne referenced it earlier when he introduced himself. So primarily, that's what we were going to do, but I think there will certainly be opportunities to have these conversations down the line. And I welcome anyone's communication. If they have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm at Mount Vernon Manor at 34th and Wall Street. And I'll also be here after we convene, after we adjourn for lunch. So you can certainly talk to me then. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I won't take a lot of time. Everybody already, I guess, get a lot of information about wonderful black men. I do want to give you some basic information so that if you know some young people that you feel some of our programs will help them kind of stay on the straight and narrow, you can get in contact with our organization. Again, Fred said, as you know, also, I'm the president of the chapter here in Philadelphia. We have a couple of events that are taking place this next Saturday. First thing I want to give you our contact information. Our telephone number is 267-238-2900 extension 5. Again, it's 267-238-2900 extension 5. You can reach us by phone, by email. It's mentoring@100blackmenphilly.org, and it's the number 100blackmenphilly.org. We have two events that are taking place. We're looking for young people between the ages of 4th grade or the grade of 4th grade all the way through high school. We have a couple programs we facilitate on a bi-weekly basis. The chess program takes place every other Saturday from 10 o'clock in the morning until 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you know a young person that you feel fits in that category, have the parent contact us. We have to have communication with the parent and or their guardian. That's for their grade school. Then we also have, which Fred alluded to earlier, the Minority Entrepreneur Apprenticeship Program. We have an open house that will be taking place on the 25th at 1324 Clearfield. That again will be from 10 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So those two age ranges right now, we have open houses taking place this coming Saturday on the 25th. The last piece that I would also throw out to everyone, especially the men that are sitting in the room, we will be having a general meeting for men that are serious about helping their community, whether it's the Mantua section, or it's the Philadelphia section, or the East Mountain, West Mountain area, wherever it is. We meet the first Thursday of every month at the school board, 440 North Broad Street, 6 o'clock in the evening until 8 p.m. And what the individuals that we're looking for are those men and other ladies that who are willing, and I think it was touched on earlier, who are willing to open up their time. And my pastor, King Strongbow, said during one of his sermons, the way you can tell what is important to a person is by looking at their checkbook and looking at their calendar. Outside of what they're getting paid for, a lot of times when mentoring takes place, it's taking place not because the person's getting paid, it's taking place because the person cares. So we're looking for those men and or young ladies, ladies that are interested in helping the young people, seriously help the young people. Men, May 7th, from 6 o'clock p.m. until 8 o'clock, we're having a general session. And I would challenge everyone for the next meeting, we can talk about what's taking place over the next 9 months. But I would challenge everyone, identify 5 people within your network that have the mindset that you have that wants to help other people. If you identify just 5, bring them into your circle and have them help you do whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're helping young people or you're helping those persons that are coming out of incarceration. You can make a huge difference. But again, identify 5 in your network and contact them and take action after that.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tina Scott. I'm that person that most people come to take off their mask. Whenever they struggle with things, whenever they need hope, I'm the number that they dial. Today at the workshop, what I want to talk about is different ways of coping with losing someone to violence. Whether you were the one that lost your child, or you were the one that your child actually pulled the trigger, or whatever device that they use. So my goal for today was just to share some things to help people deal with their pain. Now, one of the things that I find that when people come into my office, they're surrounded around people that want them to get over it. So if somebody's in here, it's not something that you get over, it's something that you have to go through. And one of the things that I deal with, I walk with my clients when they come in, I partner with them to let them know that you can get through this, and we walk through it as long as it takes. And sometimes you put a time limit on it. It's no time limit on grief. But people around you try to pressure you and make you feel that there's a time limit. Hurry up and get over it, because I'm over it. And every time I see you, it makes me think about it again. So I just help people to get hope and realize that they can keep on keeping on. So that was my role today, to share some things with you, to help encourage you, to help you keep going on, whether it was for yourself or whether it was for you to share it with someone else. And I was just going to facilitate that discussion, as well as give you some tools for your toolbox to take home with you to share with other people. Thank you.
Is there a way that people can contact you, or what is your process for?
Sure. I accept insurance. Also, too, if you work, we have this thing called an employee assistance program. Most people don't realize that there's a stigma around mental health, that I don't need it. But if you break your arm, you're going to the orthopedic. But when we have something wrong with what's going on up here, we feel we can get over it by ourselves. And the number one reason many people don't want to come see someone like me, I have many names. I'm a crazy lady. I got a lot of different names that people call me. But at the end of the day, if you want to get whole and feel better, I'm the right number to call, along with other clinicians that can help you. But I accept EAPs, I accept insurance, and if you want to reach me, my phone number is 215-519-2531. I also have a website. It's drtinascottlpc.com. 215-519-2531. I also have my business cards that I'm going to share with you. If for whatever reason I did have some handouts, and one of the things I do is called a grief bingo. And on the grief bingo, it has a lot of things that we can do to make ourselves feel better when we're going through. So if you need that information, I'll be more than happy to share. I'll go back to the back table and hand it out to you. Okay, and my husband's going to put my information on the website too.
Hi, everybody. My name is Reverend Hawkins,
And I'm here to boastfully give you an idea of who Gateway is. How many people in here heard of Gateway Health? Great. Now the boastful part is I'm proud of my coworkers, so I want to mention their names. Sister Marvetta Coleman here. She is getting president. And we have another young man back there, Daryl Martino. Daryl, put your hand out. Now, give you a little bit of idea of what Gateway Health Plan is all about. Gateway Health Plan is a Medicare assured health plan. And what that says to you is that it's a plan that's geared for seniors only. As a matter of fact, the eligibility for Gateway is Medicare A and B. That's the first eligibility to have Gateway. Now, there are some other eligibilities that you must have if you wanted to have our plan. For instance, if you have an access card and you have Medicare A and B, then you don't have to be a senior with Gateway, because with that's a special needs program. We are special needs. So special need would be if you're on state assistance or assistance of any kind, and if you are a carrier of Medicare A and B. We also are a special needs program when it comes to chronic conditions. That simply means that you either suffer from a condition such as diabetes, you might have something like cardiovascular problems, any type of heart disease, those type of problems will qualify you for Gateway, along with your Medicare A and B card. Now, what I've done here is I've asked Daryl Martino. Daryl, come on up for a minute. He's going to go over the benefits that we cover. He's going to give a brief, I don't know. Okay, he's going to give you a brief idea of the benefits that we at Gateway cover for those people who qualify. All right?
I'm going to be very quick, because I know that people are trying to get some food in their stomach, as well as get out of here. I hope that the benefits that we offer is eyeglasses, eye exams, zero copay, dental, dentures, having the ability to be able to get diabetic supplies, diabetic shoes at zero cost. And that's depending upon your eligibility for the plan. What I am going to do very quickly is ask, there are 6 questions that we ask that if you do not have a Medicare and Medicaid card, the access card, then if you answer yes to any of these very quick 6 questions that I would ask, have you ever been told by doctors that you have diabetes or sugar? Have you ever been told by doctors that you have congestive heart failure, fluid in the lungs with weak heart? Have you ever been told by doctors that you have cardiac arrhythmia or an irregular heartbeat that your heart flutters or races? Most cardiac things allow you to be qualified for our plan. Have you ever been told that you have coronary artery disease, blocked arteries, stents, heart bypass surgery, or heart attack? And the question is ever, and if you answer yes to any of those, and you have a Medicare card with parts A and B on it, you are eligible to enroll in our plan all year long. So, that being the case, it allows you the opportunity to reach out to someone. I know someone, and probably everybody in this room knows someone with diabetes, and their plan may not be serving in the way that it needs to. Gateway Health Plan is the plan of choice for those people who have these chronic conditions. And if they do have them, it will allow them to get better care, better way to good health, and be able to get gym memberships and many other things that's available to them. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that
Because they pulled me in, because I wasn't planning to be a part. But I want to make something very clear, because there are 2 sides to the work of Gateway. There's the marketing benefit side, which Reverend Hall and Daryl are part of. And then there's the community affairs piece, which is what I do. So I wanted to make that distinction because one of the things that we do is we go out and do free educational sessions and workshops. I work a lot with residential facilities, with community centers, senior community centers, and with other organizations. So I'm happy to have that conversation. Most importantly, with churches. I'm happy to have that conversation with anyone who may be interested to know about the kinds of educational workshops that we are doing. They are called part of our health literacy program series. And what we find is that people that come, they keep coming back because the first time that they come, they find out, oh wow, that was something that I benefited from. So, Red Hat Society folks, Belvedere, whatever organization you may have that has that component, let's talk and let's see how we can fix it together. Thank you. Oh, contact me.
I'm going to ask if the young people will come up here and sit around here, and they can get their, they're going to get their lunch first. But if they will come up here and sit with the lieutenant, I'm sorry, the inspector. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So grab a chair. This needs to be a real conversation. All right. No, turn it up. And then we're going to let young people go. We're pray the food and let the young people go grab their food, and then you all are going to go after them, and we're going to. And then the adults, they can either stay around and have conversation. We have a room over there with information. You can move around there and look at the information, but also get your lunch. And then they're going to stay here for about 20 minutes or so and have conversation with the inspector. All right. God, we thank you for what this day has afforded us. We thank you for the rain, and we thank you for the sunshine. Thank you, God, for these people who have come and are emboldened and passionate about the word. Thank you for the organizations that have been represented here, all those personnel who have given their time to do this work. Now, God, we ask your blessing on this food. May it be used to nourish us, Lord. May the conversation be used to nourish us also, physically, spiritually, Lord, and might we tell somebody that they should have been here for this. So God, thank you as we go throughout and finish up during this time. We ask God your blessings on this day, and your blessings throughout this week, and especially tomorrow as we come together in community. Bless this community, Mantua, and God, we ask God that you might go into each one of these homes, God, and touch each one of these lives in this neighborhood. Might we not really have to have this conversation on violence next year? But Lord, if willing, if need be, we will. So Lord, we ask your blessings on this neighborhood and all these folks. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.